In today's fast-paced world, where success is measured by followers, likes, and material wealth, the ancient wisdom of Stoicism offers a stark contrast. The Stoics, including figures like Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca, saw through the illusions of external validation, materialism, and ego-driven desires. They knew that true peace and happiness didn't come from external achievements, but from cultivating virtue, self-control, and a clear perspective on life. Their teachings hold incredible value today, as we navigate a world increasingly trapped in digital distractions and superficial pursuits. Here are 9 key lessons from Stoic philosophy that, if followed, can help us break free from the modern traps and lead us to a more fulfilling life. 1. Avoid the illusion of power and external validation. In the digital age, the pursuit of external validation is at its peak. Social media platforms like Instagram and Facebook encourage us to chase followers, likes, and external recognition. People often measure their success based on how much attention they receive or how impressive their lifestyle appears. But the Stoics knew that true power and contentment come from within, not from how others perceive us. The pursuit of external validation is dangerous because it's rooted in a desire for control over things we can't control. We can't control how others view us, nor can we force them to respect us. In fact, Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, reminds us that seeking external validation only wastes precious time and energy. Marcus Aurelius said, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." This is the essence of Stoic philosophy. It's not about what others think of you. It's about being true to yourself and your values. True power lies in self-mastery, not in the approval of others. Instead of striving to appear powerful or influential, focus on cultivating inner strength. Power is not about dominating others, but about controlling your emotions, reactions, and thoughts. When you cultivate inner peace, you stop needing the approval of others. Second, stop seeking happiness in material possessions. In modern society, wealth, luxury, and material possessions are often seen as the ultimate goals. We are conditioned to believe that the more we accumulate, the happier we will be. This is a lie that modern culture tells us, and the Stoics warned us against it. They understood that the pursuit of material goods often leads to a sense of emptiness. Possessions provide temporary pleasure, but they do not provide lasting happiness. Seneca, a Stoic philosopher and advisor to the Emperor Nero, pointed out that true happiness comes not from what we own, but from how we choose to live. If we can learn to be content with less, we free ourselves from the endless cycle of craving more. Seneca said, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." The Stoics didn't argue that having wealth is inherently bad. Rather, they advised that we should not become attached to it. Wealth can be useful, but it is not the source of true joy. Instead of chasing material possessions, focus on cultivating virtues such as wisdom, courage, and temperance. By living a simple, virtuous life, we can find true fulfillment that transcends the fleeting satisfaction of material things. 3. Avoid the trap of constant comparison. In the age of social media, it's easy to fall into the trap of constantly comparing ourselves to others. On Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, we see curated glimpses of other people's seemingly perfect lives. This can make us feel inadequate, leading us to believe we are somehow lacking or less successful than others. But the Stoics knew that this constant comparison is not only harmful, it's completely unnecessary. Epictetus, one of the most well-known Stoic philosophers, famously said that we should not measure our worth against the success of others. Comparing yourself to someone else is not only pointless, it's a distraction from your own growth. Epictetus said, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." The Stoics encouraged us to compare ourselves only to our past selves. Am I better than I was yesterday? Am I growing in wisdom and virtue? These are the real measures of progress. Instead of comparing your life to someone else's, focus on improving yourself daily. The only competition that matters is the competition with who you were yesterday. 4. Don't let fear drive your decisions. Fear is one of the most paralyzing emotions in human experience. It prevents us from taking risks, speaking our truth, and pursuing what we love. In the modern world, fear manifests as a fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of judgment, and the general fear of not being good enough. The Stoics, however, saw fear as an emotion to confront and overcome. Seneca emphasized that fear often distorts reality, and that most of the things we fear never come to pass. Our minds often imagine worst-case scenarios that never materialize, and by letting fear dominate us, we prevent ourselves from living fully. Seneca said, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." Fear holds us back, keeping us from acting on our desires and achieving our goals. The Stoics taught that courage is not the absence of fear, but the ability to act in spite of it. By confronting our fears, we realize that they are often much smaller than we imagined. True freedom comes when we stop letting fear dictate our actions and start moving forward with confidence, regardless of what may happen. 5. Stop fearing the future and worrying about what you can't control. In the modern world, we are bombarded with news, uncertainties, and constant reminders of what could go wrong. This creates an environment where anxiety about the future flourishes, and it can be overwhelming. The Stoics understood that worry about the future is a form of suffering because the future is uncertain and it lies beyond our control. Marcus Aurelius reminded us to stop wasting time worrying about things we cannot control. We cannot predict the future, and the outcome of any situation is unpredictable. Instead of being consumed by worry, the Stoics urged us to focus on the present moment and what we can do now. Marcus Aurelius said, "Do not waste time on what you cannot control." The Stoics also taught that we should prepare ourselves for the worst while remaining calm and unbothered, accepting that life is full of uncertainties. By focusing on what we can control, our actions and our attitude, we can maintain peace of mind regardless of the outcome. 6. Avoid the pursuit of false pleasure. In modern society, instant gratification is everywhere. From social media likes to fast food, we are constantly seeking quick hits of pleasure to numb us from the stresses of life. However, these pleasures are fleeting and ultimately leave us empty. The Stoics taught that true pleasure comes from living virtuously, from aligning our actions with reason and self-discipline. Epictetus said, "Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control. Instead of seeking quick pleasures that don't satisfy us in the long run, we can choose to cultivate meaningful joy through good habits, strong relationships, and personal growth. True pleasure comes from living in harmony with nature, exercising self-control, and choosing what truly contributes to our well-being." 7. Stop hiding your true self. In today's world, many people wear masks to fit in or to project an image of success and happiness. We see this especially on social media, where everyone showcases their best selves and hides their struggles. The Stoics, however, encouraged us to be authentic and embrace who we truly are. Seneca said, "It is not because things are difficult that we do not dare. It is because we do not dare that they are difficult." Stoicism teaches us that true freedom and peace come from embracing our true selves and letting go of the need to impress others. By living authentically, we can achieve a deep sense of fulfillment that superficial success or validation from others can never provide. 8. Avoid living for external approval. Constantly seeking approval from others is exhausting and ultimately unfulfilling. Whether it's from friends, family, or colleagues, external approval often dictates our actions and decisions. The Stoics understood that this dependency on others for validation strips us of our freedom and peace of mind. Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." By living according to our own values and principles, we gain freedom. Stoicism encourages us to act with integrity, not to please others, but because it is the right thing to do. When we free ourselves from the need for external approval, we discover true inner peace. 9. Don't attach your worth to success or failure. In today's world, we often equate our self-worth with our success. The more successful we are, the more valuable we feel. The Stoics, however, taught us that success and failure are external events beyond our control, and they do not define our intrinsic worth. True worth comes from our ability to remain virtuous, regardless of the outcome. Marcus Aurelius said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." By focusing on cultivating a virtuous life, we can detach our sense of self-worth from outcomes. Whether we succeed or fail, our true value comes from how we handle adversity and whether we maintain our character. The Stoic path offers a way to navigate modern life with grace, peace, and purpose. By focusing on what we can control, our thoughts, our actions, and our responses, we can free ourselves from the distractions and illusions of modern culture. When we stop chasing fleeting pleasures, external validation, and the need for approval, we find true happiness. By embracing Stoicism, we not only change our lives, but we also become more valuable to the world around us, contributing to society in a meaningful and lasting way.